Hi folks, I just wanted to take a little time, try and make this video less than 10 minutes to show you how to create a little bit more interaction in your live online session. I think it's really difficult to translate what happens in the classroom electronically. So I've been looking at some of the tools you can use to actually create interaction between students and yourselves, give yourselves more space and time in the classroom and get your students working together. And there are two tools that I'm going to show you how to use that work together to actually make this happen. So a typical classroom activity that's effective for any group at any level is a whiteboard activity or a flip chart activity. And really simply what you do in the conventional classroom is you divide your students up into groups, maybe 4 or 5 students, give them a piece of flip chart and a few pens and a question, and you'd ask them to work on that question collectively, make the notes on the flip chart. They'd do that sort of 10-15 minutes, and then when they've finished that, they would then feed back to the rest of the group. So each group's got a different question that are around this. For example, say you were working on, you got a question about health and safety, and you asked your students, one group of students, to look at what are the health risks in your work, another one to look at what are the safety risks in the workplace. You go to another group, and what are the mental health risks in the workplace? You would then get them to mind map all those ideas out and then share them back to the entirety of the group. So the whole group will get an idea of the overall health and safety picture in the workplace, but they'd each work on a different component separately. Give them a chance to feedback, give them a chance to work together and get to know each other. So, how to do that in the electronic classroom is really easy. It's so easy. I think I can show you in the 7 minutes that I think I've got. The first thing you need to do is you need to do a bit of prep work and set your groups up before your session actually starts, and that is simple. So as you know, we're working on teams, so we've got our groups divided on teams. Everybody, all your students are all at present in one team, so they're all associated with, say, HNC business, which we've got down here. What we need to do is we need to create channels within those teams, so that's smaller groups within that team. Dead easy to do. You click on the 3 dots, and it'll say add channel, and you give your group a name. So I'll call this team. And then, very important, privacy, you need to change that to private. So only those people in the A team can access it. Make sure you'll put yourself in there as well. Click next, create the channel. And then here you can add your students. Now you need to add yourself to every channel. And you can start adding your students now if you wish. I'm not going to do that because I don't know who your students are. I don't want to create any confusion. But you can start typing them in there, or you can add them at a later date. And then just very, very quickly, just to show you how easy this is, I'm just going to add one more. So add channel. Call this team. Again, remember to change it to private. Click there. Okay. Again, I'm going to skip that. So now when I go to the HNC business group, you can see that these 2 channels are here. Now, if I want to add or remove or change students around, simply go to add members. Add members there and edit the channel, of course, if you wish, but you can see they're both sitting there. Now, the only thing students will need to know how to do, so when you're having your general meeting, you still book your general meeting through your main team. The students will go to their A team account, and on your signal, if you say divide into groups, all they will need to do is click this meet button here. And then they will go to a meeting within a meeting. And that's all they need to understand how to do. And then you can then navigate in and out of the different groups and the different meetings by joining that meeting as and when you see fit. Okay, so it's really, really simple to use, and that's how to set your groups up. Now, how to turn this into a flip chart. So you'll need to download an app. Microsoft Whiteboard. Now I need to go back a little bit here. Go to your Microsoft 365 account. As you do with anything else, you get your apps down here on the left-hand side. Your Word, your Outlook, your SharePoint. Click on this little button here. It'll show you more apps, so you've got an opportunity to see more. Now, I've already got Whiteboard, so I've accessed it, so I can see it already. You won't when you actually go to here. So what you'll need to do, you'll need to click all apps, search button, And if you search whiteboard or board or anything like that, it'll bring it up. Click on it. And now you've got the web-based version of the app. Oh, for crying out loud, I've forgotten how to talk. The web-based version of the app. So here it is, very, very easy to use. But like everything else on Microsoft, the web-based version isn't as good as the desktop version. Now, I've already downloaded the desktop version. What you will get an opportunity, I think it's here in the top corner, to say download the app. But you can download it, it takes about 30 seconds, it takes no memory, and then you get a desktop version of the app, and that is far, far better. Okay. So I would suggest you download it. So this is the desktop version that I'm working with here. And all I need to do is click, so simple, create whiteboard. And I've now created a blank piece of paper. So it's got the usual functions of a whiteboard down here. We can add pictures. On the images, I can select the image that I want to work with. I'll talk myself into a corner here because I need to find an image. Let's just use this one. There you go. So you can add an image for students to actually work with, or you can type a question for students to work with. Type a question, just right click, press the add text, and then start typing. What is my add that, and you can move that around in the typical fashion by just grabbing it with your left, like you move anything else out around a PowerPoint presentation or whatever it is you do. And anybody you share this whiteboard with can interact with it in exactly the same way. So they can click on it. So just that was just for those of you, that's the right click, and then go to this button here, and then they can start adding text and add pictures from their own section, or they can use the pens, which are down at the bottom, and they can start to squiggle, colour in, or whatever. If their handwriting's good with a mouse, or if they've got a touch screen, they can write on it like that. Anybody that you give access to this whiteboard to can work with it. So this is your blank piece of paper as you flip. Now, to share that with a group, go to this menu here, settings menu, click on it once, post to Teams. Okay, so click on the post to Teams, and then you just need to find your group. So the HNC group is the one I was working with here. I want to send it to, was it the HNC group I was working with? I can't remember which group I was working with earlier. But whichever group you go to, what have I done? I can't remember which group it was I was working with. I'm really sorry. Was it the SMT group? Where I added my channels? Oh dear, this is kind of worrying. Oh, there we go, 18. Okay. So you just send your presentation to the team that you want. You click on the channel, yeah, and then click post, and then this whiteboard will then be available in this case for 18 plus. Yeah, so it sits there. You can just see it's just having a think about it. There you go, post it. It only takes a minute. So that's one group dealt with, and then all you do is do the same thing again. So you just create another whiteboard for the B team. I'll just write on this one very quickly, B team. And then we do exactly the same thing. Post to Teams, click to Teams, find the SMT group, find their B team group, and there we go. I can post this one to the B team. Then each group has got its own whiteboard, they can work on it, and when they come to feedback, all the students need to do is to share the screen, or you can share the screen because you'll be able to access this this whiteboard as well, and you can post it on the general Teams meeting and everybody can see it. It's just a question of using your questioning techniques to get more out of the students. Really, really easy to do. Okay, so what we'll do is I'd encourage you to have a look at this video and maybe have a play with setting up channels and the whiteboard app ready for next week. And if some of you want to use it on your Monday, Tuesday sessions, that would be brilliant. I will set up a staff development day, staff development hour, or the Wednesday when we get back after half term, just to go through both of these tools and see who's used it, see how effective it's been. And for those of you who've got less confidence, we'll do a little bit of Q&A on how to actually apply it. But like I say, if anybody wants to jump right in and give it a go, I think it adds another dimension to our teaching and learning. And next time we do a round of observations, another tool afterwards that we can use, and we'll slowly build up our repertoire of the kit that we can use to make our sessions more interesting. Okay, Thanks very much for your time. Any questions, post them on an email, but I'm off next